Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into one of the most monumental events in human history, World War I. Get ready to embark on a journey back in time as we explore the origins, the battles, and the aftermath of this global conflict that forever changed the world. World War I, also known as the Great War, was a conflict that engulfed nations from 1914 to 1918. It was a war unlike any other, marked by technological advancements and the immense scale of destruction. From the trenches of the Western Front to the diplomatic maneuverings of global powers, we will uncover the stories that shaped this pivotal moment in history. Chapter 1: The Gathering Storm. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a series of events and tensions brewed in Europe, setting the stage for a conflict that would engulf the world in flames. The intricate web of alliances, imperial ambitions, and rising nationalism would eventually lead to the cataclysmic outbreak of World War I. In 1914, tensions between European powers were at an all-time high. The underlying causes of the war were deeply rooted in a delicate balance of power and long-standing rivalries. The world was divided into two major alliances: the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Britain, and the Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. These alliances formed in response to mutual fears and concerns, a fragile equilibrium maintained by diplomacy. Chapter 2: The Assassination. On June 28, 1914, in the city of Sarajevo, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and his wife Sophie, were assassinated by a Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. This act of political violence unleashed a series of events that would ignite the flames of war. Austria-Hungary, seeking retribution, presented Serbia with a list of demands, known as the July Ultimatum. Serbia, backed by its ally Russia, refused to comply fully. Austria-Hungary, confident in German support, declared war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. Chapter 3: The Domino Effect. The assassination triggered a chain reaction. Russia mobilized its forces to support Serbia, leading Germany to declare war on Russia. In response, France, honoring its alliance with Russia, mobilized its troops. Germany, realizing the threat of a two-front war, swiftly invaded Belgium, violating its neutrality, to launch a preemptive strike against France. Chapter 4: A World at War. By the end of summer 1914, the world was embroiled in a global conflict. Nations aligned with their respective alliances, and troops were mobilized to the battlefields. The Great War, as it came to be known, introduced the world to the horrors of modern industrialized warfare. Chapter 5: Stalemate in the Trenches. The early months of the war saw rapid advances and territorial gains, but as both sides dug in, a deadly stalemate emerged. Trench warfare became the defining characteristic of the Western Front, stretching from the North Sea to the Swiss border. Brutal and grueling conditions plagued soldiers as they faced constant shelling, poison gas attacks, and the constant threat of death. Chapter 6: Battles and Bloodshed. Throughout the war, a series of major battles reshaped the landscape and inflicted heavy casualties. The Battle of the Marne, 1914, halted the German advance towards Paris, marking a turning point in the war. The Battle of Verdun, 1916, witnessed unimaginable carnage as German forces attempted to break the French lines. The Battle of the Somme, 1916, showcased the futility of frontal assaults, with staggering casualties on both sides. Chapter 7: The War Expands. While the Western Front dominated much of the conflict, the war expanded beyond Europe. The Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers, leading to the Gallipoli Campaign, 1915–1916, a failed attempt by the Allies to secure a sea route to Russia through the Dardanelles. Chapter 8: The United States Enters. In 1917, after years of neutrality, the United States entered the war on the side of the Allies. The sinking of the British passenger ship Lusitania by a German submarine in 1915 and the revelation of the Zimmermann telegram, in which Germany proposed an alliance with Mexico against the U.S., swayed public opinion in favor of war. Chapter 9: The Final Act. By 1918, the war had taken a toll on all nations involved. Germany, facing internal unrest and growing exhaustion, launched a series of offensives to break the stalemate. However, the Allies, reinforced by fresh American troops, mounted a counteroffensive that shattered German lines. On November 11, 1918, an armistice was signed, effectively ending the fighting. The war had cost the lives of millions, decimated economies, and shattered empires. The Paris Peace Conference in 1919 laid the foundation for a new world order, redrawing boundaries, and reshaping the global political landscape. Chapter 10: The Aftermath. World War I left a profound impact on the world. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, held Germany solely responsible for the war and imposed heavy reparations, setting the stage for future tensions. The war's consequences laid the groundwork for subsequent conflicts, including World War II, and shaped the geopolitical landscape for generations to come. The First World War was a cataclysmic event that changed the course of history. Born from a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and nationalistic fervor, it ravaged nations, tested the resilience of individuals, and introduced the world to the horrors of industrialized warfare. While the war ultimately ended, its profound impact continued to reverberate, shaping the global stage and setting the world on a turbulent path that would lead to further conflicts and profound social and political transformations.